Hey, cousin Rudy. It's it's cousin Greg, and your auntie called me. My aunt or your mom called me, right? And I heard you're worried. Don't be worried. I heard you're worried about wildfires, and I'm here to tell you, don't worry. Here we go. I'm going to talk to you about wildfires. Uh, Here you are up in Northern California, the foothills. It's beautiful out there, no doubt. I want to live there myself. However, there is a fire danger. Rudy, don't worry. Now, based on where you live, you have reason to be worried, Rudy. I'm not going to lie to you. All right? I'm not going to lie that you have a right to be worried. In fact, even insurance companies are worried about wildfires. There's limited access. Even your parents are worried about trying to get homeowners insurance because of where your parents have decided to live. But Rudy, don't be worried. All right, don't worry. I want you to sleep well tonight. Okay, knowing full well that you don't have to worry a thing about. Now, of course, air quality can be terrible. Okay, and especially for young people. All right, so we really don't want you up there when there's a chance for this to all go. And I want you to know what to do because, generally speaking, it's a beautiful place to live where you decide to live. All right. However, the wildfire danger is there. All right. So, first of all, what is a wildfire? Cal Fire, okay, that's the California Fire Department, they count wildfires as an extended blaze of at least 10 acres. Right? Extended day. It's got to be like 24-hour fire. Can't put it out. 10 acres. And it's significant if it gets to be 2,000 acres. So it turns out that, yeah, we might be having fewer fires, but they're bigger when we have the significant fires. You can see some years we've had a lot of significant fires in 2017. This is the height of the drought. And unfortunately, we had a lot of rain a few years ago, so it wasn't as bad. We had a bad summer, though, Rudy. You're probably well aware of that. Hopefully it's better up there for you. Uh, Now, the problem is less rain means hotter fires, which means bigger problem. And the amount of energy, the dry vegetation is extremely flammable, Rudy. So we want to make sure we kind of keep track of the conditions of the fuel around you. So that's something you can do to try to prevent true disaster from striking. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Right? And we have to remember that it's hotter in California now than ever before. And that's not helping things either, Rudy. Okay. So you have a lot of reasons to be worried, Rudy. But remember, this is about trying to keep you safe. And your mom reached out to me to help you, with this, not to worry. All right. Now, yeah, there's been some big fires. Yeah, there's been some big wildfires. Here's San Francisco. This is a nice big city, and there's a lot of fires bigger than San Francisco. All right, so including the car fire, the Mendocino complex. That's the biggest fire of all, that Mendocino complex. The key thing is predicting. We should be able to know there's certain nights, Rudy, that maybe you won't be able to sleep. All right, and that's true. All right, there's gonna be certain nights we're gonna have to maybe keep one eye open, and your parents too. Their parents are well aware, but generally most nights, Rudy, don't worry. All right, you'll sleep fine because as long as we know the key principles behind any wildfire system that's predicted deals with the stuff that we know that how fire is going to behave in any given time. How's the fuel? How dry is it? Is it windy? How's the humidity? And what is the terrain, Rudy? Like, what kind of, like, you don't live on a slope. I know your parents have decided to live on a mountain, kind of like a nice steep slope. That could be a problem, Rudy. All right, but it's all right. Okay, we just remember this. Now, yeah, it's been hot in California. That's not good. Means dry. That's not good. And the key thing is knowing about the winds. A lot of times later in the summer, we get what are called the Diablo winds. They're called the Santa Ana winds for our friends in the Southern California. These winds can come off the hot, dry valleys, like out of like Nevada, okay? And they come over the Sierra Nevada and they heat up. Well, actually, this is Nevada here. And they heat up and they come over the Sierra Nevada, and they come this way. Usually wind goes the other way, Rudy. But when wind is going what we call the easterlies, all right, where basically they're coming in from the east, and it's really it's windy and it's warm and it's compressed air, all right. It warms, it transcends, and then the air squeezes through the canyon, and then it fans whatever fires might be there. All right. And also, if there's dry lightning predicted, Rudy, that's a big problem as well. So if you know there's dry lightning and these winds, you might want to think about moving up, find somewhere else to sleep if you can't sleep that night. Now, the Santa Ana winds and the Diablo winds are probably, they tell the same story. Like, usually starts over here in Nevada somewhere, right? It gets really hot out there. If you haven't known, it's in the summer. It's really bad. And then it got all those winds come over the Sierra and they come dropping down on us. And these fan whatever fires might already be there. Maybe some campers, all right? Maybe some arsonists, whatever it is that starts these fires, right? I had a slide on what starts these fires. I should have left it up there for you, Rudy. All right. Sometimes it's PG&E power transmitters, Rudy. Okay. That's why PG&E is getting bankrupt right now, Rudy. There's a lot of problems with wildfires, but your parents decide to live up there, and I don't want you to worry. Okay. We got more. Now, it turned out, hey, even if your parents didn't decide to live up there in the woods, all right, people lived in Oakland Hills. They didn't think this is all going to happen to them. But about 20, 30 years ago, it did happen to them. I remember the day it happened, Rudy. It was beautiful. I was in the beach area. It was so nice. It was like 100 degrees in San Francisco, which doesn't happen very often. The reason why? It was the Diablo winds warming us, but that was enough. A little spark. Don't worry, Rudy. Don't worry, Rudy. I know you've decided to live up here in this area. There are elevated, critical, and extreme fire dangers on certain days of the year. And you got to pay attention to it, Rudy. All right. I know that you're living right in this area right here. I mean, your parents really know how to pick them. Okay. But I want you sleeping well. Now, what happens if there's a fire and they need to maybe evacuate you? Okay. There's an alert system. What they do is they figure out where the fire is. They get the weather forecasts. They take a look at the vegetation, how dry it is. They look at how many hills and slopes are. Remember, your parents on that slope. And then they come up with a predicted model, and then they know whether or not to evacuate you, Rudy. All right. And then they come up with some alert system. So this is a big deal. They have these supercomputers that plug in all this information. They let you know if you really ought to leave. And so therefore, a lot of times the word, it's not even on you. But the thing is, Rudy, I don't want you to wait too long, because sometimes what happens is you don't even have that time to wait. If the fire's already raging, it's one thing. But what happens, Rudy, if the fire is just starting and it's really close to you? So one of the things is you have to be aware of is the conditions, right? Is it windy? Is it dry? Is there dry lightning? Is there a chance for a red flag warning? A red flag warning is the highest alert. If there's a red flag warning, that means that extreme caution is urged for all residents, because a single spark could cause a major wildfire. No camping, no barbecuing, no sparks. All right. Even just a backfiring car can start it. That has happened many times. The type of weather patterns that can start or stop include low humidity, which means there's not much water in the air, strong winds, hot, dry winds, dry fuel, and lightning strikes. That's what brings on red flag warnings. We don't need them all. If you got them all, big, bad. If you got them all, Rudy, I mean, you have a reason not to sleep. But there you are. Be ready to go, Rudy. Just be ready to go if you need to on a moment's notice. They'll tell you, like timing, 11 p.m. That's when it's getting windy. Okay. The winds are dropping down at 11 p.m. Okay. At that point, so you might want to be well rested before that. Wake up if you need to, or just, conk out. I don't know what to tell you. Your parent, okay. In this case over here at 5:15, you're going to have a red flag warning out there. Rudy, you are going to be okay, because you need to be prepared to leave at a moment's notice. You need to make a plan, Rudy. You need to build a kit. You need information. All right. And some of these things that you want to do is get prepared. You want to have, you want to have water. You want to have food available. You want to have like a pack with some of the stuff in it, right? You want your clothes. You want some clothes, Rudy. You got to think about it, right? You got medicines. If you got medicines, don't forget that. you need light in case if it's not daytime, right? You need something to open up your food with. You need something to listen to, like for emergency broadcasting system. Hygiene items, right? Remember how hard it was to get, and you remember the shelter in place trying to get toilet paper. Remember that, and first aid kits, right? Some of these things, these are the things that you should have ready to go, Rudy, on a moment's notice in case if something's going to happen. Okay, I want you to sleep easier. Okay, you want to sleep easier.